everyone, my name is Queenie and I'm an email specialist at Email Experts. In today's video, we're going to walk through how to set up the Klaviyo backend stock flow. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know, from adding a Notify Me button to your Shopify website, customizing the button and form to match your branding, setting up the backend stock email flow in Klaviyo, and creating a backend stock report in the backend of Klaviyo. Whether you're new to Klaviyo or a seasoned pro, in this video we'll provide you information and tools you need to optimize your backend stock process. Throughout this tutorial, we will be pasting pieces of codes into your Shopify store page. These codes can be found in the description of the video or the blog linked below. So first, how will it look on site? When a product is in stock, obviously everything will work as normal. But when the product is out of stock, the Add to Cart button will be replaced with a notice saying that it is out of stock, and a Notify Me button will be replacing it. When someone clicks the Notify Me button, the form will appear. The customer can choose the variation they want. They can add their email address and opt in to receive email marketing emails as well. If they don't check this box, they will still be emailed when the product is back in stock, and they just won't receive any of your newsletter emails. So once the product is back in stock, the customer will receive an email. Here's a demo of what it looks like. Another function of Klaviyo's backend stock form is reports. You can set up the backend stock report so you can see how many customers are in queue to receive an email when a product is back in stock. This is helpful since it tells you the latent demand of a product, so you can prioritize restocking the products that have the most people waiting to hear about it. Alright, let's get into it. We'll go through adding the form, setting up the email flow, and generating the backend stock reports. First, we need to add the flow into Klaviyo. So in Klaviyo, go to Flows, click Create Flow at the top right, search backend stock, and choose the standard version. And click Create. This is all for now. We'll come back to this later to design the email and test to make sure the queue is working properly. We'll start by adding a button to your Shopify website that will appear on any item or variation of an item that is out of stock. This button will show in place of the Add to Cart button. This will show the Notify Me when available button when clicked. A form will appear where customers enter their email address, which will add them to the queue. And Klaviyo will notify them when you restock an item. I'll also show you how to add a checkbox to the form so that when the customer signs up, they will also have the option to subscribe to your email list. I'm assuming you already have a Klaviyo and a Shopify account set up. If you are starting from scratch, pause here and check out our detailed video about setting up your Klaviyo account from scratch. For this, I have my Klaviyo account open, my Shopify account open, and I have the code, which is also in the description of this video. Before you begin, you need to ensure a couple of settings in your Klaviyo account are enabled. First, check you've enabled Klaviyo's on-site tracking on your Shopify store, including viewed product. If you set up your account following our previous video, this will be working. To check if on-site tracking for Shopify is enabled in your Klaviyo account, from the Klaviyo homepage, click on Your Account in the bottom left and select Integrations. Under Enabled Integration, select Shopify. Here you'll see a message calling out if your Klaviyo app embed is enabled or not. If it's not enabled, click Add Viewed Product Tracking to My Site checkbox. Note that the setting to enable Viewed Product is checked by default. So Viewed Product will start tracking once you enable the app embed. Click Update Setting, click Update Integration. You'll be brought to your Theme Setting App Embeds tab. Make sure the Klaviyo app embed is toggled on. Click Save. Navigate back to Klaviyo. In your Shopify integration setting page, refresh the page. You should see a green callout noting that your app embed is now enabled. Now to add the Notify Me button to your website. We'll start by adding the code to your Shopify store so that a Notify Me button appears. From the Shopify homepage, click on Online Store and Theme. Then, under Menu, select Edit Code. Within the Layout folder, click on Theme Liquid and scroll to the bottom of the page. For this next section, you will need the snippet of code. The code snippets are in the description of this video and in the accompanying blog. Copy the following code. Once you've copied the code snippet, paste it into Theme Liquid file directly above the closing body tag. Don't click Save yet. We need to edit the code slightly. You will need to replace the code where it says Public API Key with your Klaviyo Public API Key. To find this, in your Klaviyo account, go to your account name in the bottom left and select Settings. Within Account Settings, under Setting, click API Keys. Your public API key is here. It's the 6-digit string. Copy this, and back in Shopify, replace the public API key with your API key. So if your public API key is ABC123, this section of the code will say account ABC123. Remember to keep the quotation marks. Before we finish, we'll still need one more code to add customers to the mailing list if they check the consent box. As I mentioned, when customers subscribe to be notified when an item is back in stock, it doesn't automatically give you permission to add them to your main newsletter list. The pop-up appears when the customer clicks on the Notify Me button, includes the option to sign up for your main newsletter. In the code, find the section that says your list ID. Back in Klaviyo, go to List and Segments. Find the list to add subscribers to. I recommend choosing a list that doesn't trigger a welcome flow. If you set up your account following our tutorial, I recommend using the list called Newsletter. Find and click on that list. Then click on Settings. At the top of the page, under List ID and Name, there will be a 6-letter list ID that you can copy. As a shortcut, it's also the 6-digit code in the URL. Copy this code, and back in the Shopify code, replace your list ID with this new 6-digit code. Again, remember to keep the quotation mark. Now to test. Click Save and Preview. Find a product that is out of stock, and the Notify Me When Available button should appear. When you click on it, add a test email address and keep the checkbox checked. Now search for the test email address in Klaviyo. As you can see here, 2 things are recorded on my test profile. First, I have been added to the newsletter list, and I have been subscribed to the backend stock. And you can see the product detail in the metadata here. Before we move into Klaviyo, you can customize the form code. So back in the Shopify code, it is highly customizable. I'll briefly break down each part you can modify to suit your store. And don't worry, you don't need to know CSS code to make minor adjustments within your own comfort zone. Under Trigger, these settings modify the Notify Me When Available button that appears on the site. Product page text. This is the text that will appear in the button. Change it to something more appropriate if you like, such as notify me when it's back in stock, or be the first to know when it's back. Product page class determines the class of the button. By default, it's BTN, which should match the other button on your site. Don't change this unless you know what you're doing. Product page text align. Align the text within the button. You can change this to left, to right, or keep it centered. It's centered by default. Product page margin, adding spaces between the text and the edge of the button. Change 0 pixel to another number such as 10 pixel to increase the space around the text. Replace anchor. When set to false, it shows both the sold out and notify me button. Change it to true if you want the notify me button to replace the sold out button. The modal is the technical term for a pop-up. So these settings customize the pop-up that appears when the customer clicks on the Notify Me button. This portion of the snippet code controls the appearance of the modal. Body content is the text that appears in the pop-up. Email field label is the placeholder text that will appear where the email address will then be filled in. The button label is the text that appears in the button. Subscription success label is the text that will show up once a customer successfully fills in the email address. The numbers and letters with hashes are the hex code colors of the styles for the pop-up. You can change any of these to match the branding of your website, and you can see how they are changing by clicking Save and refreshing your page. Finally, some more advanced customization settings. First, the trigger visibility settings allows you to show the backend stock form only on certain products. For example, if you have a limited release of a product or have a seasonal product on which once it's out of stock, you don't want the backend stock form to appear. If this is the case, you can add an Include or Exclude tag to the snippet. You can add the snippet to the top initialization section of the code, below the platform value here. First, add a comma after Shopify, add a new line, and paste this code. Include on tags. This code means that the backend stock button displays only on items that include a specific tag. Exclude on tags. This is the inverse of the above. Use exclude on tags will ensure the backend stock button is displayed on all products except those with the tags specified. The text next to the mailing list checkbox will say add me to your email list by default. To customize this, add the below as aligned to the modal section. Add a comma to the last item, and add this new line and replace the text with the copy you want to show. If you have issues with the Notify Me button not appearing, follow these steps. First, if you are using one of the free themes from Shopify, check out this Klaviyo help doc, linked in the description and the blog, which will also help you further style your form and button. If you are still having trouble, search for your theme name, then theme Shopify Klaviyo backend stock, for example. If your theme is Dawn, then search Dawn theme Shopify Klaviyo backend stock, and you will often find help docs specified to your theme. Finally, if you still can't find the answer, reach out to your theme developer directly. In our experience, they are very helpful in integrating with Klaviyo. And that's it for Shopify settings. Once you have added the snippet to your Shopify store, you can now create your email flow to notify customers when an item is back in stock. Now back to Klaviyo flows. We'll find the backend stock flow standard that we made before. The backend stock flow we set up earlier has three main components. 1. Trigger. When customers enter their email into the Notify Me pop-up, the flow will queue them up for that product. 2. Delay. The flow will delay the email until the item the customer signed up for is back in stock. 3. Email. This email will contain dynamic content that is specific to the product the customer signed up for. It will inform the customer the item is back in stock and contain a link that will take them to the product. Make sure Smart Sending is off to ensure customers receive the alert, and UTM tagging is on. To edit the design of the email, click on the email and click the Edit button. Be careful not to remove any code provided by Klaviyo, as it is used to personalize the email based on the product the customer subscribed to. We suggest adding your logo and navigation bar to keep the message of the email simple. Once you are happy with the email, set the flow to live. It's time to test the flow. We already tested the form, so now we need to test when a product comes back in stock. In your Shopify backend, add 5 of an item to your store to trigger the back in stock email. In the next few minutes, you should receive the email. You can check the profile to make sure the email was sent. Check that you received the back in stock email you created and that all dynamic content is showing and is linked correctly. The email will be a bit ugly, but we'll style it shortly. Before we continue, I'll just adjust the stock level back to make sure customers don't order it. Now that it's working, we can style the email. I fast forward through the styling process here, but just keep in mind when you're editing, you can move and style anything in this template. Just be careful with the components that will populate the product so it won't break the email. And finally, click Preview to show what it'll look like from the customer's perspective. Once you've completed the back-end stock flow, you can adjust the sending settings within your account to better fit your store operations. To access these settings, click on your profile name in the bottom left and select Settings. Then, under Setting, click Email. If you've added the snippet and created the email flow correctly, back-in-stock settings should appear at the bottom here. There are 2 relevant rules: minimum inventory and notification strategy. Minimum inventory rules refer to how many items your store need to restock before you notify those who are subscribed. For example, you may want to start sending the back-in-stock emails once 5 of the particular variation is back in stock. If you only stock up 4, customers won't be emailed. You need to choose the inventory level for yourself. We're just going to leave ours as 1. Notification strategy. You can choose to notify all customers at once that are in the queue, or allow Klaviyo to trickle the emails out slowly until the product is out of stock. Usually, this second option is better. For example, suppose you have 20 customers in the queue. If you get 2 items back in stock, the back in stock email will go out to all 20 customers at once. Instead, what you can do is trickle it out. So the first customer who signed up will get notified first. And if they don't buy, you can automatically send it to the next batch of customers until the product is out of stock. Anyone who hasn't emailed yet will stay on the list. This is much better for the customers since the product won't resell out really quickly, and customers won't need to rejoin the back-in-stock queue. To set this up, choose Notify Subscribers in groups at a time. Under Customer to Notify, choose how many customers you notify per item that you restock. For example, if you restock 2 items, you can email 5 subscribers per item. So you will email 10 subscribers. If you're not sure, start with 5. The wait time. Determine how long Klaviyo will wait between batch of emails. So in our example, if you restock 2 items, Klaviyo will email the 10 subscribers who signed up first. Then it will wait 1 hour. If any products are still available, Klaviyo will email the next 5 subscribers per item. Klaviyo will keep sending emails in batch until the item sells out. Finally, back-in-stock reports. These reports can be a valuable tool for e-commerce businesses to understand which products their customers are most interested in restocking. Still, in Settings, go to More and Back-in-Stock Reports. This will give you the option to download a current report or schedule a regular report to be sent to your email inbox. There are 2 kinds of reports. The first, the back in stock most request items report, will present the queue of products that customers are waiting for. The second, back in stock performance and revenue report, will present the performance of the back in stock flow. That's everything. Now, when an item goes out of stock on your site, customer can subscribe to the back in stock form. When the product comes back in stock, Klaviyo will automatically send out an email to customers to let them know it's back in stock, all running in the background. Thanks for watching this video on setting up the back in stock flow in Klaviyo. If you have ideas for future videos, please leave a comment below. We try to answer them all. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more Klaviyo tips and tricks and other email marketing strategies in the future. If you haven't already signed up for Klaviyo, you can support our channel by using our affiliate link in the description below. If you want to know more advanced email marketing tips and strategies, check out the rest of the videos on our channel or join our advanced Klaviyo course.